Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading at this time. You have this Gazelle card, it says change in purity. You have this key card, it says lock and unlock on it. So you could be unlocking a fresh start with the Page of Pentacles or some sort of new start. And definitely, Three of Wands and Two of Wands I look at as very similar. They're not like the same, but they are kind of like similar energies. And, they both, for example, represent like taking the lead or needing to take the lead in your life to make a change or to, do something that you're trying to do. And so, they're both similar in that way. They both kind of represent needing to leave a comfort zone as well. Like this guy here, he needs to get on these boats. This guy in the Two of Wands, he needs to leave the castle that he is standing on top of and get out into the world. So, I kind of feel for a lot of you that, this is about kind of taking the lead and getting out into the world or having a fresh start. We're doing a Celtic cross, and obviously in your first position here is your current general energies. So kind of like very fresh energy I get here. Like you're ready to start anew or you're ready to have a fresh start. I'm really not getting much on this Page of Pentacles other than, kind of like ready, that you are ready for a fresh start. Of course, I always encourage education with the Page of Pentacles. He is a card of studiousness, so learning as much as you can about anything new that you are learning about is usually the good thing to do with the Page of Pentacles. Your crossing energy is the Three of Wands. The crossing energy can be what hurts you or helps you in a Celtic cross, and the Three of Wands is a card of expansion. So, a lot of people read the Three of Wands as your ships coming in, which it can represent, but he needs to do something with those ships. He needs to leave his position at the top of this hill, and he needs to get on one of those boats and go on an adventure. And so, as a crossing energy, it could represent holding yourself back a little bit as far as an adventure is concerned, or, it can kind of say that you have to take some sort of risk. The thing I always think about with the Three of Wands as well is that he is looking at this water, but the water is golden in color. And so the true story of the Three of Wands is that he thinks he's looking at the desert, and when he looks closer, he sees the boats and he realizes that he's looking at the water. So it's not desert. And so, the desert, nothing grows there. There is no opportunity in the desert. So sometimes I feel that the Three of Wands can represent kind of looking at an opportunity but not really seeing its full potential, or not really seeing what really exists. So if there are any opportunities or, if you're thinking about some sort of fresh start, you might not see the full potential in what you're about to do. And we can only see that full potential if we explore, right? We have to explore, learn, experiment, grow, all those things. And I think that if you're starting anything new or looking at new opportunities, don't just skim the surface. The Three of Wands wants us to dive deep into a new opportunity. In the area of your thoughts, you have the Two of Wands. So thinking about taking the lead on something, right? The Two of Wands is the card of taking the lead. He has the whole world in his hands. Again, it's kind of a card of him not realizing the full potential. He is looking out here at the world in front of him, but he's not looking at the world that is in his hands. So he's not looking at the full potential of something that exists. So that's definitely popping into my head here in your reading, that there might be, or you could be looking at an opportunity right now and you need to kind of look deeper into the opportunity. It could be anything. You end with the Star, and the Star is just like a wish or, something that you're imagining creating or having in your life. And so I feel that you really have to kind of explore your full potential. And like I said, we can do this through exploration, so we have to try, obviously. And we also have to push ourselves past our comfort zones as well. Both cards, Three of Wands and Two of Wands, both represent leaving a comfort zone or pushing yourself outside of a comfort zone. So, that kind of means that you have to push yourself to that point where you would normally give up and push yourself a little bit further, or you need to do things that you've never done before. And that's exactly what I would do here with the Two of Wands. And that's basically what I would work on. In the area of your foundation, you have the Six of Cups. Really good card to get in your foundation. I've noticed at the beginning of this period, a lot of people have been getting these cards of just childlike energy. And the Six of Cups is like your inner child or embracing your inner child. Really, it kind of says that your inner child is being protected because they're inside these castle walls, and they also have this guard right here who is guarding them. But I also feel that, for whatever reason, I kind of feel like it would be a good time for people to just be playful, as in we shouldn't be taking things too seriously. If you're starting a business or even starting a new relationship or connection, It's like we should just look at it as an opportunity for an experience and kind of like go with the flow. I think adopting that behavior is going to lead to a much better outcome than, taking like needing something to go a certain way. This is just the willingness to be curious in life, and I feel that would be a very beneficial energy for you here, Taurus. So there you go. Next, in the area of the past, this is the energy that you are moving past. You have this healing energy card. It says you are in the process of healing, eliminating bad energy from your life. All your past readings have been about healing or going through some sort of healing. You have this unfolding beauty card. It says everything is unfolding as it should. Surrender and live in the unexpected. Yes, 2 of Wands, 3 of Wands, yes, definitely, and also 6 of Cups I would say as well. The 6 of Cups doesn't really represent anything unexpected. But again, if you are kind of just in that happy-go-lucky, adventurous, childlike energy, then you will encounter unexpected opportunity. And so, I don't think this is unexpected opportunity in a mysterious way. I think this is just like, if you're going on adventures, things will pop up, things will come up, and, new directions will appear before you. It's like that type of unexpected, if that makes sense. You have the 9 of Swords in the past, which is great, exactly where we want it as far as I'm concerned. 9 of Swords is the worst card in the tarot. I do not consider the Tower to be a bad card. So everybody's always like, well, the Tower is horrible. I'm like, well, actually, no, it's not. The 9 of Swords is much worse because he is in a nightmare, and he is stuck in a nightmare, and he's doing nothing to change his situation. So having this as the energy that you are moving past really would say that you are ending any nightmares or challenges or difficulties that you're dealing with, and you are making change in your life, which again, these 2 cards here really encourage you to make a change, or they are encouraging you to make a change. Next, in the area of your very near future, you have this don't let your past hold you back. And you also have this card that says win-win outcome is forecast, which is good. You have the Temperance card as well in the very near future. And the Temperance card is kind of like a card of alchemy, or turning one thing into another. I do feel if you're dealing with anything with a person, that you are going to be kind of like working things out or finding that middle ground type of solution. I also feel with the Temperance card that, the Temperance card sometimes I feel is a card of perfection. Most people wouldn't say that about the Temperance card, but just like intuitively, sometimes I feel that he is trying to make his situation perfect before he steps off on this path. This is called the path to glory, and he has this big glowing crown back here that he could receive or get in his life. But he's kind of like pouring water back and forth here, trying to turn water into wine. He's trying to transform his situation. He's also standing in 2 worlds. He's in the water, he's in the emotional world. He's also on the land, so he's in the grounded world or reality or logical world. And sometimes I just feel this says, just start. Just get started. And whatever you're thinking about getting started on, there never will be a perfect moment for you to start. Really, the 3 of Wands is one of my cards that says, what are you waiting for? So, I think that it is definitely a time for you to get started on something new. In your outcome row, you have this Foresee card and this Forgive card, definitely needing to forgive the past. You have the 3 of Swords in the area of your future feelings, and this could be about needing to heal through forgiveness. But sometimes with the 3 of Swords, we just have to forgive ourselves. We don't have to forgive a person or anything like that. It might not even be about that, right? It's like sometimes we beat ourselves up for the things that we didn't see or the things that we didn't do. So I think forgiveness is definitely popping up in this reading. The Foresee card, I think, is saying that you need to pay attention to the signs, symbols, synchronicities, things like that are popping up for you at this time. Over the next period, you have the Death card. A lot of changes going on for you. I definitely feel that Taurus will be a sign that changes significantly moving forward, so, it doesn't really surprise me. Usually the Death card kind of represents, positive change. So I do feel like there's positive change. The thing about the Death card is we have this child right here. And this child is holding up flowers to the Death Rider here. And the child is the only person on the Death card who is not afraid of change. The woman here is crying, the Pope or whatever he's meant to be here. He's begging for his life on the card. So these people, the older people on the card, are stuck. But the person, I should say, who is embracing change is the one that's excited, who is welcoming the change. And that's definitely popping into my head with all this childlike energy, which we actually have 3 times, Page of Pentacles, 6 of Cups, and then the child on the Death card. And so I feel for a lot of you should be encouraging you to allow change or to, experience the evolution that you're going through. Next, in your area of your closest relationships, this is all relationships, you have the Two of Swords. Two of Swords is kind of like this or that thinking, I always say it's my card of third place solutions. She has this island behind her, but she's thinking that her only options are right in front of her. If she put the swords down and took her blindfold off, she would see this new option behind her here, and she could find like a different world, but she's trying to protect her heart. And I think that's why the Three of Swords is also coming up next, because it's saying that you have to heal or you have to forgive or let go of the past so that you can see that there are other opportunities here for you. And again, we have two other cards, Two of Wands, Three of Wands, that are also encouraging you to see that there are other opportunities in, for your life just in general. I also feel this could be like if you want love, not really a love reading, but I'm just saying if you want love, then I would open up. Two of Swords, she's trying to protect her heart. Three of Swords, kind of the same thing. We'll talk about it in a second, but if you do want love, I would open up with this reading. Next, with the Three of Swords, you have the Three of Swords and the Star, and we have this healing card. Some of you, I think you have healed, but you could be continuing your healing. The Three of Swords is a card of forgiveness. So usually we don't have to forgive a person directly with the Three of Swords, we just have to forgive them in our heart. But again, I kind of felt earlier that this could be you forgiving yourself, for things that you feel like you missed out on or things that you didn't do or take advantage of. And the Three of Swords is all about taking those swords out of your heart and forgiving the past so that you can move forward. But again, this doesn't have to be a person, this could be anything. You have the Star as your outcome, which is amazing. The Star is like, hope, faith, renewal, wish fulfillment, happiness, good energy, being able to take care of yourself. I mean, I always look at the Star as kind of like an energy that a Taurus would definitely enjoy, right? It's like, being able to pamper yourself, take care of yourself, and all that other good stuff that Taurus loves. So I almost just said Paris, so I don't know if someone's going to Paris or something like that, but it just popped into my head. So again, I feel pretty good about this with the Star card. But let's clarify here, Taurus, and let's see what is going on for you. With the Page of Pentacles and the Three of Wands, you have the Two of Swords, yes. So you could be, you could already see the third place solution. With the Page of Pentacles and the Three of Wands, you could see that there is another way to live your life. And I think the Two of Swords, Three of Wands, Two of Wands is really encouraging you to embrace a new life. I mean, we have the Death card. It kind of tells me, the Death card, what I'm trying to say is the Death card kind of tells me that you are going to make the change regardless, so I'm not too worried about it. But again, I think that, letting your guard down a little bit here would be a good idea. With the Two of Wands, you have the Devil. The Devil can represent feeling trapped or bound. And again, the Devil doesn't have to be toxic energy as in a person. With the Two of Wands, he's stuck at the top of that castle with the Devil. These two people are stuck and bound to the Devil. So some of you, could be trying to set yourself free, or you could be trying to remove yourself from something. Now, there are like two things that I always think of with the Devil if we're trying to set ourselves free. Number one, those chains are hanging down to like here on those people. They could easily lift those chains off from around their necks and set themselves free. The other thing is that sometimes I feel the Devil represents creative force or creative energy. These two people have animal horns on their heads. Animal horns represent our base or instincts or like root chakra energy. So they need to take that creative energy and like bring it up to their heads and express it into the world. So if you're trying to create something, or if you're thinking about creating something that might set you free, or, be able to get you out into the world. With the Six of Cups, love it, you have the Six of Swords. If you've been watching me for a while, I love two sixes. Two sixes is kind of like confirmation for your path. Two sixes form a straight line. That may not make sense, but it does in my head here. Thus, I feel for a lot of you, you are making progress, you're moving forward. And the Six of Swords would definitely be moving on to calmer shores. So it looks to me like a month of improvements for sure. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands would be about learning boundaries, and it would say that you have learned what boundaries to put up against, toxic individuals or any nightmares that could be repeating in your life. And Seven of Wands is really my card of drawing a line in the sand, where you're saying, this is what I'm willing to accept in my life, and anything below this line is not allowed in my life. And so you're really kind of like sticking up for yourself is the energy I get off the Seven of Wands, and it's definitely what, definitely something I encourage with the Seven of Wands as well. Yeah, with the Temperance card, you show up as the King of Pentacles. So whenever you show up as yourself, it puts you in a position of power and strength and really allows you to get what you want from the reading. The King of Pentacles is a card of wealth. Now, he's also the card of skills. He has these grapes on his cloak, and grapes in the tarot are meant to represent something that's difficult to grow. But it basically says that he can grow them, he can do it well. He has a skill that most people cannot do, but he actually has a skill. So it's a great card for kind of like using the skills that you developed over the years that might be hard or, might be difficult for other people, but those skills could be extremely valuable. So I think it will be a great time for you to use your skills. With the Death card, you have the Knight of Swords. This would be like a quick change that's happening in your life right here. So I do feel that there could be like a quick or a rapid change coming in for you. Even the Knight of Swords, he has these little, it's kind of hard to see, but he has these little yellow butterflies, this thing here around the horse. And, butterflies are symbols of transformation or change. The other thing about butterflies is that they are very delicate. And, I kind of feel that's popping into my head for you, Taurus, where it's like if you're experiencing a change or undergoing some sort of change, that, you should be taking your time and also kind of like protecting the change from negative influences. Definitely popping into my head, mostly because we go from the devil down to this energy. So, it might be a good time to like keep your ideas to yourself or, I would just protect protect what you're working on. Right, with the Two of Swords, you have the Four of Wands. Yeah, if you want love, I would definitely open up. This is coming up in the area of your closest relationships, which could be love, and the Four of Wands is a card of marriage. The other thing is that this could be you committing to new people. Not in love like you're just committing to new, friend groups or people in your life. I really do get this energy here of you kind of like finding people who you can actually grow with, who are like more on your level, right? And like in a good way. And there's something about that popping into my head for work or business. It's like sometimes I like, they say that we should surround ourselves with people who are going to, push us to be more successful, or we should surround ourselves with people who are much more successful than us, which I do think is true, because it forces us to grow. But it's like sometimes if the difference is too great, if you have $10 in your bank account and you hang around with billionaires, there's no doubt about it, you might learn a lot of good things, right? But like, are you really going to become a billionaire like quickly? Probably not. I'm sure there are people who have proven that wrong, but it's like you sometimes like maybe it would be better if you have $10 in your bank account to just hang around with people who are good with money, who save money and, have good money habits and things like that, right? Then you kind of come up to this level and then maybe you go to like millionaires, right? And then you kind of like ladder your way up. And I don't know, weird message, stupid message actually, I think it's dumb, but I don't know, it's popping into my head and that's what I get. So there you go. It seems to me like you're actually, kind of surrounded, it's like you're at the right level or something. With the Three of Swords, yes, you have the Knight of Wands. Definitely needing to open up if you want love. Again, I don't think you need to have love in life, but I think you have to have love in the sense of the energy, but you don't necessarily have to have a person. But if you want it, I think it's available to you. And the Nine of Wands would be the wounded warrior, and this would say, the good news about the Nine of Wands is he isn't giving up. So it would kind of say that you are maybe being more open to connections or, that you're about to try again after heartbreak. So I think that's good. With the Star, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Very good energy, Empress energy. And the Nine of Pentacles is gratitude and luxuries, like having the nicer things in life. It's really funny that on the Star I was saying how I kind of feel like the Star is a very good energy for Taurus because, the Empress is Taurus. And, again, not that you have the Empress, I'm just saying, but I was kind of getting like Empress vibes on the Star card. We're not really Empress vibes in the sense of like, the Empress, but more just like that self-care side of things or that, that pampering energy, and it makes sense with the Nine of Pentacles. You have this Moon card. It says changes in your life, Death card, and you also start with that card that says change in purity on it. I guess what I really like about that card, the change in purity, is it's like saying you're making changes for the right reasons, so definitely very good. These two wanted to come out together. You have this Crown card. It says honor and respect will come to you. You also have this Fire card. It says strong emotion, passionate love or hate. And, maybe that's what you really need to realize is that you can't please everyone. So, to get your crown, you have to have an opinion. And, again, people don't really like opinions, right? But, the people who are going to want to, follow you or look at you as an authority are going to like your opinions, but that doesn't mean everyone. You have this 10th card. It says temporary situation, probably the Three of Swords. Three of Swords literally represents a temporary situation. So some of you could be dealing with heartbreak right now. I don't think all of you. I think some of you are thinking about past heartbreaks, but, again, I think you'll overcome this. You have this Torch card. It says spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. Very spiritual reading in a lot of ways. I think it's an all about you reading as always here, Taurus. But there are definitely positive changes coming in here. You have this period tied to your birth energy, like around your birthday or close to that time, especially if you were born during that season. You have this owl. Says good advice from a wise person. Yeah, I think every single person I've been reading for lately has been getting these cards of mentors or guides or, like I was saying earlier, the people that you surround yourself with. I don't know what it is. I don't even necessarily see it clearly in astrology, but there's something about the energy right now that is saying that we really need to find the right people to surround ourselves with. But, there could be positive change coming up in the near future. This looks really, really good, Taurus. I like it. Pretty simple. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your time ahead.